and girls, we've already read the book If the Dinosaurs Came Back, and we had a fun discussion about that. Now we're ready to begin our project. Before we start actually drawing, though, I want to discuss shapes with you. There's something called geometric shapes, which are the shapes that you'll see in the background of our cityscape when we draw our city. And then there's something called organic shapes, which you will see in the curves of our dinosaurs. So, geometric shapes are shapes that you're probably most familiar with. Squares, rectangles, triangles, circles. These shapes have clear edges and points, and they even have usually a line of symmetry, meaning if I chopped each one of these in half, it would be mirror image or the same on either side. So geometric shapes, those would be in our buildings. Organic shapes are something that you would more find in nature. They don't have defined edges. They're irregular or imperfect. So those organic shapes would be the shapes that we see in the curves of our dinosaurs in their long necks and tails. So it's a nice kind of comparison between our hard geometric shapes and our soft organic shapes. So let's get started. Miss Weaver's going to draw with a Sharpie today, but you will start with a pencil. So just in case you make a mistake, you can erase them. In order to draw our buildings, we're going to need some geometric shapes. If you would like, you can just draw several rectangles. If you're struggling with maybe your shapes, Miss Weaver has a couple stencils to get you started. What I would like is for some of your buildings to overlap. So put your two hands out together and overlap your hands with me. When you overlap, that means there's one shape that's hidden by another because it's in front of. So I'm going to draw a shape here and then have another building overlap this shape. So again, you don't have to use Miss Weaver's tracers, but if that would help to get you started, absolutely use those. And because I want another overlap shape, I'm going to not trace that bottom line because I want a shorter building to live here. Oops. We should use that other tracer. All right, and then there's going to be another building maybe up here. This building is overlapping it as well. And then one final building, I bet, should go right here. Now, right now, these are just geometric shapes. What's going to make this look like a city or buildings is that we need to use smaller geometric shapes as windows. So we're going to actually use another art term called repetition, or the small version of that is repeat. We're going to take one shape, probably a square, and repeat it over and over and over again to create the illusion of a city. So here I go. I'm going to use a small rectangle. If it's easier for you to use a big rectangle, that's fine. I'm going to try and keep these in a nice little row so all my windows are neatly organized. Take your time and don't rush. Miss Weaver just happens to go a little bit faster than most. Done drawing your building, Miss Weaver will give you a dark marker or Sharpie to go over your lines so they're nice and strong. Now we're ready to begin to add our dinosaurs. So let's look back at the cover of that artwork. You can see that a lot of the buildings are overlapping the dinosaur's body. So we will really only see parts of the dinosaur's body that's sticking out because this building is overlapping this blue dinosaur and this yellow dinosaur. So we don't even have to draw the whole body. So I'm going to use the edge of one of my scrap papers that I handed out. And I'm probably going to put a dinosaur body right here. That's where he's going to be sticking out. So find a line or a good place for your dinosaur to stick out. Maybe here would be a good place, or here, or here. We don't want him to come off the page. So I'm thinking right there. So I'm going to give you guys a couple hints on how to draw a fun dinosaur. So I'm going to make kind of a loose oval shape. That's going to be the big part of the head. Let me zoom in slightly for you. Okay, and then I'm going to take a line to connect that head. And I'm actually going to come out a little bit farther than that circle and back down again. Kind of making some loose lines. Those lines can get erased later with our table erasers. Then I'm going to make an L shape. Oops, I might go off the page a little bit. That's for his little claws. Okay. I'm going to come in. I think he's going to be one of those dinosaurs that has bigger mouth with those jagged zigzag lines. This is where erasers can come in handy. So I'm going to make some zigzag lines like we've talked about in other lessons. Little dinosaur eye. If you want to let some of these lines go, that we don't need them anymore. Maybe some little texture lines. Got a little texture on his dinosaur head. And really, we don't have to draw much after that. We can just see his little head kind of popping out. So I'm going to trace this in marker. Our first dino. Remember, when we're cutting, we always cut away from ourselves. We never cut towards us. No, 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 no. Always out. We've got our thumb and at least 2 or 3 fingers here. If you're one of my lefty friends, your scissors are going here. I don't want to forget you guys because my daughter's actually left-handed too, and I need to remember you guys go the other way. So if you're lefty, you're going to hold it in this hand, and this hand's going to move back and forth. But if you use your right hand, like Miss Weaver does, it's going to look like this. This scissor hand stays still, and you're going to move the dinosaur back and forth. So I'm going to open and close my scissors. I found another scrap of paper, and I think I want a dinosaur head to come out from this area. So maybe, actually no, this area. So there's one dinosaur going this way and another dinosaur going this way. So somewhere over here. So I'm going to draw a curved line. I'm going to swing back over and bring it down. That's one of those guys with those really long necks. I feel like those would be the friendliest dinosaurs if I was going to meet them. So that was pretty simple, just a curved line. Oh, I forgot to outline. Let's go back, Miss Weaver. I was just so excited to get him on the paper. There we go. Oh, I think maybe here, but that's not gonna work. He's not coming out of the window, so I'm gonna just trim him a little bit. Nothing says you can't edit in the moment. There we go. All right, so we got another dinosaur head poking back there. So I'm gonna give you guys some time and some extra paper to create your own dinosaurs. Maybe you want one fully in the middle. We can draw one in the foreground right here so you would see his whole body. Maybe you have other ones peeking out. You're the artist, so I'm excited to see what you do with this project.